face of what they're working. This is the face of what they were working right here, this stuff. So that's how he met him, was because they were both master electricians working on those. He said that Geneva Steel up there in Provo, where he met him, met Terry.
Yeah. We're gonna have to go and talk with Terry a little bit about that.
Yeah, you'll be surprised one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
I got the video.
Yeah, we got the proof.
Well,
that's not really proof, but
that ain't no he said, she said.
Yeah.
Here, you want to watch the video? But he was saying Doc Schaefer was always talking about gold bars. He said, but he never found them. He said Terry found them. But this area up here has got pretty good history. A lot of activity. So, you know, there was a lot of gold here at one time.
Well, if they have a town of 1,200 people, that blew me away when he said that.
Yeah.
With a fucking
What's
post office.
I'm trying to remember what they called that city. There was a name they called it.
We'll have to do some research on that.
Yeah.
I'd like to know where the site was at.
Yeah. Go metal detect that. You
Hell
find
yeah.
some shit. Go metal detect them old buildings.
But I bet there's got to be a junk pile somewhere. 1,200 people, that's a lot of tin cans.
Old bottles.
Bottles and tin cans. Somewhere there's got to be a pile in a ravine.
Yeah,
somewhere.
they didn't take their garbage out with them.
No, they put it
dump.
They had a dump.
We could fly the drone and probably find it.
I think.
We'd have to have a starting point. It's a big area.
Yeah, it's a big area. If we can find out where the town is at, it's going to be right in that circle somewhere.
Well, can't be too far from the water.
Where was the water at that time?
That's only creek right through where we came up there.
Yeah.
When you saw all them hydraulic dams when we went up that way up there, that's what those were. Mm-hmm. They were gathering water and then probably pumping water up there when they didn't have water.
And some of those pipes were old school because they were riveted together.
I saw that.
Before welding came along.
Nope. That's a lot of work to make that.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought with gold being 3,400 or 3,300, whatever it is an ounce today, all these prospects would be being worked.
Going full bore.
Hell yeah. If there was any values in here enough, even if you could get out of here an ounce or two a month and you were running with a thin budget, you could do pretty good.
Well, if they were running that one up there in 2018, what was gold prices back then?
$1,800 an
1,800,
ounce.
2,000,
Yep.
something like that.
So
That one's always intrigued me
well,
too.
that was one of the ones I was thinking about going to this time because you haven't been there, and I want to go back. And it's lower country, you know. Some of that country I don't think you're going to be able to get into yet. See how this thing's even working still. That is quite the place, man. It must be, I don't know if it's private property or an old patented claim.
Oh, he's in there.
Yeah, is he? I wonder if this is an old patented. Oh, there is an old timer. Should we go talk to him? Howdy. We're just riding around exploring. Yeah. Oh.
Near the building, top down.
Oh, cool.
Lost sawmill. Building another.
Nice.
Huh?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. You know me?
No, I don't know you.
Oh, she call me Terry.
Terry? Oh no.
Are you
John.
Are you an electrician?
Yeah.
I know who you are. You're. Yeah.
The guy that had it was Roy May. What he done is that he's the one that created Tickaboo.
Oh, okay.
And he was married to one of the Eckerd ladies. So all the Eckards had all of that.
Remember, I saw that carved tree down there that had Eckerd's name on it down there.
Yeah. All the Eckards had all the claims on everything.
Oh.
You come up to the bottom down here.
Yeah.
See that little log cabin down next to it?
Yeah, the rock building.
That was part of. They was over 1,200 or 1,700 people.
Holy cow! That's quite a city.
Yeah, that was the gold rush.
Because we did find some old graves down there,
Yeah,
like the mounds with the stake with the cross.
I never seen them yet.
We saw 3 of them in one spot and one in
those
another.
test holes are at, right? Or those pits.
Go down the
on
ridge.
that one plateau.
Yeah.
Just before you get to it, there's a huge turtle made out of rock. It's probably the size of a Volkswagen. And then just a little bit ways from it was
A grave.
a grave. You can see the rocks piled up about 6 feet long with the stake at the end of it.
And John picked up the thing that was the cross at one time.
It's falling off.
They had I don't know if it was Spanish. I think the Spanish were in here
Well, I know there was.
because there's an old Spanish. I know. Well,
Well,
that's where?
Spanish writings. There's Spanish writings over right there where you're just coming up that hill, and on a quickie there's a sword, a big sword.
Drawn on the tree.
Yeah, in the tree.
Huh.
And
He told me he used to do some dry washing and stuff over here.
oh, he did. Yeah, that's that. We always come up here. We done that for years.
But it's more flakes than it is nuggets up in here, isn't it? Is it just
well,
like small gold?
I don't see up here on the bromide they mine, and they was mining here up 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The South Africans had it.
Yeah. I heard that they had sold it to a South African company. Was the gold and stuff they were getting? Is it in formation and they're having to have
No,
it extracted?
It's just flakes. It's all in flakes down there.
Oh.
In fact, when you come up there's one place that they call $1 million gulch. They took out more than $1 million worth of gold.
Wow.
Okay, and that was back from where the log cabin is, back there, and there's
The one that's down low.
a little lower. What's that reef? That reef.
Oh, yeah. That
You
reef
get
formation.
That reef formation. There's a little cut over in there, and then that's they in that cut from about here to that tree right there.
Mhm.
In that cut, they've got over $1 million worth of gold out of it.
Wow. Amazing.
See, what happens is all of this, that fault you got down,
Right. Cracked.
come up, and so that put it down. If you ever watch Gold Rush,
Yeah. Eddie and Freddie and what's his name? Juan.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so this is how it works. Okay, you got your gold. It's all up in this country, up in here, and then when that fault goes up there, see, there's gravel layers and stuff down there. They go down and get. That's what you call the bedrock.
Right.
The wolf from the Wolverton mill.
Hell yeah, that thing must have took in that day. That was $1 million creation. I mean, that
And he's the one that had all of the writings.
didn't he get that out of?
Had his claims.
Right.
But in the book, if you read the stories,
Mm-hmm.
see, they all come up with this here fancy story. Anyway, he got thrown off his mule.
Right. Her broke his bladder or something. Yeah.
And they had to go. It's in Green River.
Mm-hmm.
And in his diary, he said he'd just found the mother lode from the underground.
City thing.
No,
Mine.
Spanish.
Oh.
This is Spanish.
Oh.
This mine's Spanish.
Uh-huh.
See, he got the information from the archives in Mexico.
Oh, right.
From the Spanish.
Old. That would have been Wolverton.
Yeah. Well,
Edgar or Wolverton, whatever his
and
name
that's
was.
seeing that.
Have you ever heard these Paiute stories about supposedly the Spanish slaved a bunch of the Indians
That's where.
and they had an underground facility where they were holding them? And like they'd mined it out and then they were holding them in there and then the mine went up further in there. Do you think that's that area?
That's what it is.
Oh.
And I think that's where the Golden Cross, when they slaved the Indians over
Uh-huh.
there. From right there, it's only 10 or 12 miles.
Uh-huh.
to
There's
the
some really nice big Spanish monuments built across
like
there.
I say, and I'm pretty sure nobody's. I mean, the guy that where I knew about it, they're all dead. But
Mm-hmm.
the guys I was the head electrician over Tickaboo
Mm-hmm.
when they was doing the uranium.
Oh yeah.
Okay, these guys found this old mine, and they wanted me to come up there and
Wire into it or something.
help them see what to do.
Right.
And I asked them, I says, so they could see the air come out of it. And I says, well, can you get a generator there? Yeah, we get there. So I rigged them up with one of them big vent fags and a 10 horsepower blower.
Yeah.
I said, now go up there and
Put some air in there.
blow the air, and
Yeah.
so they made a grate like they did, seal it off, and then I says, and then go get you a whole bunch of green trees and build a big fire and blow smoke in it so you can see it.
See where it comes out.
So when in 2000, and that's when I found that. I knew where it was,
Right.
but there was all the stuff that was. The old vent bag was still there, and the grate was.
Is this mine? Does that have water coming out of it?
And I found some Spanish writings there.
Oh, cool.
And it showed just exactly what it was. It showed a counterbalance like this, counterbalance, showing a tip over. And what happened?
So it's like pointing or.
It was telling they'd lost their load when they crossed the.
Right.
Tipped over within 2 miles from
where that happened.
It's where they found the gold bars.
Okay. Huh. Well, Wolverton, according to some of my research, and this, I found this. Used to go up to the church and go into the archives and special collections, and I could get a bunch of stuff. But Wolverton he went and followed the Spanish trick. So what he was doing is he found the trail, and then he tried to backtrack it to wherever they were going, the main trails.
Yeah, see, they would get it out.
He said there was a spot where they were taking their mules around this steep spot, and they lost a couple off there. And he said he didn't get bars, but he got high-grade bullion, and that's what he used to fund his mill project. Was he found a bunch of their broken pack saddles where the mules went off the cliff.
Well, you look up Terry Carter.
I know who he is. Yeah.
We're good friends with Terry.
We're Terry. Yeah, Terry Carter does the videos.
We're good friends with Terry.
Him and I, he's the only guy that I know that's found. So you know old Terry Carter?
Oh yeah, very well.
Okay.
Real well.
Yeah, we see him a couple times a year.
Yeah. Anyway, I was thinking about getting him to come down on this one here.
Yeah, he's doing the Moon Lake thing up there.
Yeah.
We're going to go up to that. We were there last year. Well, we've been up there 3 years now.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years.
If you go over on the crossing of Cathedral Valley and back up in there's some monuments that take you, and when you get up there to this one big icon monument, you look, and it looks right over here. And you look in it, and it's looking right at the mountain.
That's right there.
And then you come over on the other side and go up that road, and there's a big rock. It looks like a turtle, and it has got the head, and it's looking right up there from the other direction. And when you go up to it, they've chiseled out the eye and the nose to make it like a turtle's head, and it's looking right over there too. So you got that big monument with the peephole, and then the turtle over there looking right at that.
Anyway,
that's where their trail comes. Anyway,
that's where they went.